The CEO accidentally discovered that the wife he had been separated from for 2 years had actually become blind. In order to find out what had happened, he secretly followed her and walked into the hospital room where she was staying. At that moment, the woman received a call from her mother. She said she had signed her up for a high society etiquette training class since her husband had already returned from Europe, and told her to hurry up, learn how to please the CEO, and get pregnant. As she spoke, she urged her to come downstairs right away so she could take her to get some fertility medication. The woman had no interest in any of this. To get rid of her mother's nagging, she pretended to call out her husband's name and even asked him to pour her a glass of water. When the mother learned that her son-in-law was right beside her, she happily hung up the phone. But in the very next second, someone really held a glass of water up to her lips. The woman thought it was a doctor. Until the CEO spoke his own name, she froze on the spot. It turned out that 2 years ago, in order to pay for her adoptive mother's medical treatment, she had agreed to her biological parents' arrangement to marry the powerful CEO. At their first meeting, the woman had almost been late, only because she had rescued a stray cat on the way. Some cat fur got into her eyes, so she appeared with reddened eyes. The CEO mistakenly thought that she had just broken up with her boyfriend and was forced into this marriage alliance, but that actually perfectly matched his expectations for a partner. He immediately laid out a condition: the marriage could exist, but there would be no love. After signing the prenuptial agreement, the CEO left for Europe, and it wasn't until 2 years later, when the woman came to the hospital for a debridement surgery due to an eye infection, that they unexpectedly met again. Upon learning that the CEO had suddenly returned, the woman was very surprised. She took the glass of water and drank it all in one go. Only then did the CEO realize that she must have been thirsty for quite a while, yet unwilling to trouble anyone. At that moment, he felt a trace of goodwill toward her for the first time. Just then, an elderly woman from the next room came over and scolded the CEO, saying how could he let his blind wife come for surgery alone. The woman immediately grabbed the corner of his clothes and told him not to overthink it. Unaware that the CEO had already arranged a VIP hospital room. Filled with guilt, he personally carried her over and stayed in the room until evening without leaving. When he checked his phone, he realized that during all this time, the woman had not once taken the initiative to contact him. He had originally thought that, relying on her status as the CEO's wife, she would be living quite well. At that moment, the woman woke up, sensing someone by the bed. She reached out to see who it was, only to be shocked that the CEO still hadn't left the hospital. She asked why he hadn't gone yet. The CEO asked where she wanted to go and said he could take her. The woman quickly refused. In fact, she just wanted to go to the restroom. For something like that, she didn't want to trouble a husband she wasn't close to. Fortunately, at that moment, the assistant informed the CEO that there was an urgent matter at the company. Seizing the opportunity, the woman urged him to hurry back to work. A week later, the woman's eyes had mostly recovered. The CEO specially arranged for someone to pick her up from the hospital and then selected an expensive gift for her. To return the favor, the woman picked out a very expensive tie for the CEO. But just then, a senior from her university suddenly greeted her. As the CEO came out, he happened to see the woman chatting happily with another man, and his expression instantly turned cold. Just as the woman was about to get into the man's car, the CEO suddenly turned on his headlights and, with a serious expression, told her to get into his car. She didn't say a single word to him during the ride. Being so nervous, she even forgot to give him the gift she had bought. Just as she turned to give him the gift, the CEO walked toward her and said the rain was too heavy, insisting on escorting her to her door. After arriving at her home, she took out the tie she had specially chosen for him. The CEO accepted it and was about to leave when the woman suddenly called him back. She said the rain was too heavy and invited him to come inside and sit for a while. The CEO did not refuse, but as soon as he sat down, he noticed her personal clothing. Flustered, the CEO hurriedly hid her underwear behind his back. Just as he was about to take a sip of water to calm himself, the woman quickly told him that it was her cup. The CEO felt extremely embarrassed and hastily made an excuse to leave. The next day, the CEO accompanied the woman to meet her biological parents. On the way home, she noticed that his car had been changed to one with a starlit ceiling. It turned out that just the day before, the woman had casually mentioned that she liked a starlit headliner. The CEO had quietly remembered her words and had the car modified accordingly. Not only that, but a man who had never been tied down by feelings before had, for the first time, gone out of his way to learn about the woman's preferences in advance. After learning that the woman was allergic to ginger, he would personally and immediately pick the ginger slices out of her dish. Then he expressed his hope that she would move into his home. The reason was simple: they were husband and wife. The woman thought to herself that her mother already knew the CEO had returned and would sooner or later insist that they live together. So the very next day she brought her luggage and moved in. That night, after her best friend learned that the woman had moved into the most expensive villa in the city, she asked whether the woman and the CEO would share a bed. The woman hurriedly, shyly explained that they weren't close enough for that yet. Just as she finished speaking, the CEO, having just taken a shower, appeared in front of her wearing his pajamas.